Pittsburgh.
Turn on the radio! Bring it on! Turn it!
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I love talking to bands. It's Kevin Powell. I love talking to bands. I love talking about rock, metal, entertainment, and pop culture news. And today I have a very special guest. Her name is Stef from the band City of the Week. Stef, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being on. So where are you at right now? It looks like you're in a van. So it looks like you might be going somewhere or coming from somewhere. Is that right?
Yes. So yeah, we played Tulsa, Oklahoma last night. It was the last night of our tour. And so I am somewhere in New Mexico. It's by a town called Milan. Never heard of it. Don't know, but that's where we're at. We're at some gas station, a Marathon gas station, living the life of luxury. So yeah, that's it. We're going home to Arizona. I live in Phoenix now. So
okay.
That's where we're headed.
How long was or is this tour?
It was really short. It was about a week and a half. We were just going out to Incarceration and then back, and we just had some shows along the way. So pretty simple, pretty easy.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be talking about Incarceration, but let's get started with the very beginning. Who is City of the Week, and where is everybody from?
I formed City of the Week years ago when I was 18, back in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. And I just was like, I want to be in a band. Like, who's crazy enough to just get in this SUV with me and start touring, even though we had no business touring. But we did it. And we would just like burn CDs of our like crappy demos on little just burn CDs from like Walmart, write our name on it and pay. Like, we had like this like black and white picture of us that we would like print off at the library at the school and just fold the paper around the CD. And we thought that was like totally legit to go on tour. But yeah, we're just rock bands doing our thing. And yeah, 10 years later, we've played now three or four of the Danny Wimmer festivals. We played the main stage at Rockfest, Rock USA. We've done 30 plus tours and we're still kicking it. We're still doing the thing 10 years later.
Still kicking it 10 years later, and you guys are still putting out music. And so what exactly is your role in the band? I know you're a vocalist, but what all do you do behind the scenes?
Pretty much, almost everything as far as like the marketing, the just operations. I do a lot of like just the business wise things. And then Cody, the bass player, does all of like the design. He does our videos. He'll even do a lot of like our band photos. He'll do them from like a tripod. He edits all the videos. He does the technical side of things, like our tones. So we're kind of just like, between the two of us, we're kind of just like our own little operation doing everything.
Now, we talked briefly through email, and that's how a lot of my interviews do get set up, which is fine. A lot of the artist management will reach out to me and say, all right, you're going to be talking to these guys. It was cool because you and it was just straightforward. I talked to you, you talked to me. It wasn't a third party, anything. It was really cool. So it's cool that you guys are, basically doing it all on your own. Is that right? Yeah.
I secured the media list and emailed everyone I could, and it's been cool to chat with a lot of you guys. It's always new. It's a new area as far as like doing media there. Like, we've done like radio campaigns and whatnot in the past, but it's like we haven't really had the big reach as far as a lot of the main radio stations or podcasts in the area. So it's cool to be able to talk to you guys and just meet new people.
Absolutely. And I love talking to bands because it makes me, it makes me feel good, but also it allows other people to get to learn about bands that they've never heard of, or if they have heard about them, get to know a little bit more about them. So we're talking to City of the Week right now. Her name is Stef. She is the vocalist, and they just got done playing Incarceration Fest. Now I'm very jealous because I didn't get to go. I was supposed to go. Didn't get to go, but that's okay. Not a big deal. It's a big deal. Big name bands like Breaking Benjamin, Korn, Evanescence, Daughtry played. So tell me about how it was with Incarceration. Tell me about from the time you got there, from hitting the stage, the reception, everything.
Yeah, so we pulled in the night before we played, and we were actually at the campground area. So it's like a brand new thing they have this year. So the Richland or Richfield County fairgrounds kind of have like a whole setup there for all the campers, and then there's like you know, they even have a little general store, cafeteria, all that stuff. So anything you could need is out there. And then there was like a little shuttle that would take you into the actual grounds where like the main stages are. And so we pulled into the campsite and it was already wild, partying, nuts. And we got up super early. Yeah, it was like midnight. We roll in. And it's like everyone's going wild. There's already bands on the stage. They have karaoke that night or something. And so we honestly just kind of hung out a little bit, went to bed. And then we were up 7 a.m. I assembled a street team for the day and of pandas. And so because pandas are kind of our thing. Our last music video, you know, had the pandas in it and whatnot. So I assembled a street team, got some pandas together, and we had about 400 like handbills and signs to put around the grounds. So we shuttled everyone over there to the main grounds, got them in, and I kind of worked the street team for the day. And then we had a meet and greet with Take Me Home Rescue. We partnered with them for the day, which is really, really cool to be able to kind of, you know, help animals over there as well. And we had our meet and greet there, and they were a really, really nice team. They're really great people. Lori and all of them were just like people. So with them again. And then the CEO of the festival, Danny Hayes, also did his meet and greet with us, and all the Space Zebra guys were there. So it was just kind of like a little party we had going on. We had the party pandas, so of course it's a party. CEO's there, you know, what more could we ask for? And then we went back to the campgrounds and just prepped for the show, had the show. And by the time we cleaned up, it was like 4 a.m. And then we rolled out to the next city because we had Detroit the next day. So It was a wild day. It was fun. We got to tour the prison, which was really cool, see the jail cells, and it's a really cool festival. So definitely, if you have the chance to go, definitely, you know, go for it.
So yeah, I was supposed to work Incarceration Fest. I was supposed to take photos and videos, but then I got shipped out to another concert kind of close to me. But it's okay. I get to work with bands like you guys and talk to you guys, and it all works out. So I'll go another year. You guys have been around for about 10 years, and I would hope you have some songs out within those 10 years, and you do. Like 2018's album, Pulling Teeth. Now, what was the recording and writing process for that?
Yeah, so that was our first full-length record that we did, and we got to do it with Craig Owens, who, if people don't know, he's the lead singer of Kyotos. Yeah,
let's go.
Kyotos,
all right.
Drug. Yeah, and he's like one of my all-time favorite artists, like for like OG for me. And so we just kind of like wrote to him, and he decided to take the album, which is really crazy that he decided to. And working with him was kind of like, you know, working with producers, a lot of them think of like the sell, whether a song's going to sell, and kind of like just the formation of it. With him, it was all about like, why are we doing things like on the artist side of it? So that was really cool. I felt like we were kind of at a low point as a band. We were working with the record label, and it was just like not working out at all. And so I felt like we kind of lost all of our creativity. And so working with him was like the best thing I've ever done, I feel like, for our career at that point, as far as just going back to our roots of like just creating the art. And so he was amazing. And we recorded the album up in Chesterfield, or not Chesterfield. I can't remember the name. It's like a suburb of Detroit. Okay. And yeah, we recorded the album, and we were so proud of it, and we still are proud of it. And yeah, that's kind of it. We just drove up there and tracked and did the thing, and it was really incredible to work with him.
That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. And then COVID hit, and then everything kind of changed for the world. Shutdowns happened, band stuff had to happen. How are we going to continue writing music? But then, how has this changed? You have a new single out right now called United Hate Division. Was that written during COVID, after COVID, whatever, anything at all?
So that one actually was written before COVID, but we put it out in 2021. So we started working with a producer, Brandon Friesen, out in California. And so that one was written about almost a year before that one hit. We just kind of sat on it for a little bit, trying to get the video together, everything. But of course, you know, it's still relevant. It was about like, you know, the political climate in the United States, and just how nuts everyone is getting, how nuts our country is getting. So it actually, the fact we wrote that before COVID is just kind of ironic, because then, of course, like I thought like, oh, the song might not be relevant, you know, in a year or two, just because, you know, things might have settled out a little bit in the United States. And then it got crazier, and I was like, oh, the song is more. So we decided to go ham for the video, and, you know, make fun of everybody, like all the politicians, bring in some party pandas, have a good time. And people ended up really enjoying it and relating to it. So that was pretty cool.
That was the first song I heard of you guys. I've heard the name in the past somewhere, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And when I saw this video, the energy radiating from you guys was like, all right, I like these guys. Not only is the music good, but the energy that you guys give off is great as well. And then you told me the story about the Party Pandas with Incarceration Fest, so it all just kind of makes sense. What is coming up next for the band?
Right now, we're finishing up that tour. We have another full US tour coming out, or not coming out. Oh my God. Basically being announced in the next few weeks.
Okay.
So that'll be this fall. We're finishing up our album in 2 weeks. We're recording the last song in Vegas, August 4th. So the whole record will be done, which is really exciting. We just have to finish. We're doing a Black Sabbath cover of War Pigs is the last addition that we wanted to add to it. And just kind of figuring out what to do with it from there. You know, obviously you have the recording process, and then it's just like, how do we get this out to the world? You know, there's a plan that goes into play that we have to figure out of how we want this to be introduced to the world. So that's kind of the next step.
Well, I'm excited to hear that whenever that does drop. Anything you want to say to fans to wrap things up?
Just thank you to anyone who's ever listened to us or come to a show, and hope, you know, if you haven't, we hope to meet you someday. And thank you to having us on. You know, it's cool to, you know, when outlets like you give bands like us a chance. You know, we are new. A lot of people haven't heard of us or don't know of us. So just thank you to everyone who supported us along our journey, and we'll be here for a long time. So hopefully, you know, many more in the future.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Steph. I do appreciate you taking a minute of your time to talk to me. I'll talk to you here in a little bit off air. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. That is Steph from City of the We. You guys got to check these guys out. They have a song out right now called United Hate Division. That's the music video that drew me in, and they're working on an album right now. They're finishing up a tour right now. These guys are busy, and that's good. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Kevin Powell Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.